Hey everyone, welcome to another episode, Weekly News. And with me, David?
It's me.
It's him. He's
Hey,
with
Faz.
us.
Thanks for having me.
No, yeah, what do you mean? It's a regular now, so you're part of the show. Okay, so weekly news time, everyone. We are trying to give a shorter format to the weekly news so that more people listen to it. Fingers crossed. Let's see how we go. Should we dive in?
Let's do it.
Yeah, we're not covering markets today. I mean, they're up, they're down. It's depressing all around. Even when they're going up, it feels depressing. So let's not cover it. Let's focus on accomplishments. First off, how can we not kick off Nexus Icon Bridge? It's out. Can we say it yet? Should we talk about it, or
It depends on what you're going to say.
oh, well, it's out. That's all I'm going to say.
It's out in its beta version. So the bridging functionality is built. It has BTP fundaments, but not the whole package, which is why it's called the Icon Bridge. And the front end app using it, that's what's called Nexus. It's in beta. It's being audited as we speak. I believe, and because it is being audited, there is no clearance for incentivization yet, I'd say. So you can use it. You can move your tokens from Binance Smart Chain to Binance Smart Chain and back again. I've done so. Have you?
Not on mainnet, believe it or not. I know, terrible of me. I haven't gotten to it yet. I haven't sat down and started playing with it.
That kind of makes sense because that's going to be my point. There is no incentive. There's nothing going on yet, right? It's there. The functionality is there, and from here we go. So you can bridge over, and I must say it felt quite weirdly satisfying to see like 5 ICX pop up in a MetaMask wallet for me. So that I'd never seen like ICX next to the MetaMask Red Fox in one screen. So I thought that was nice, felt good. But there's nothing more that you can do right now besides just read about it. I suppose you're looking at the blog right now.
Yeah. So you can see right off the bat, a ton of assets are supported, and you can start to see, obviously, why isn't it supported? So let's quickly tackle that. It is in beta. It doesn't make sense to roll out incentive programs because remember, the bridge is essentially locking on one side and minting on the other. Now, until audits and stuff are done, we don't want to have a ton, I was going to say shit ton of tokens locked on either side and suffer a hack, say like what went down with Harmony, or literally majority of the hacks we've seen bridges encounter, because that can either destroy the bridge, which actually most likely destroy the bridge, and the chains that it's got a lot of assets locked up for. So safe than sorry. So yes, you can. That's why I found it hilarious in the background. I was like, I want to put out a tweet warning people like the lure of starting a liquidity pool on PancakeSwap with, SICX and BNB is like, you just want to do it, but control yourself. Don't, because that it's not audited and it is beta, so you don't want to encourage that. But it is DeFi. Anyone can do as they please, so...
And they have. Lucas.
I thought it was hilarious. It was Lucas from Craft who went and did it. And kudos. Like, that's the beauty of it. And you can start to see here that, especially with Binance Smart Chain, because if you didn't know it, with Binance Smart Chain, and I use Binance Smart Chain a fair bit, you can move from Binance or any of the Binance Cloud services, exchanges. You can move straight on to Binance Smart Chain, ETH, BTC, like natively when you move it off, it puts it on the chain. And then all of a sudden you can now move these assets via Icon Bridge straight onto Icon. And you could see Scott alluded to, he's keen to, one, get BUSD into the stability pool for balance so that we have then four stable coins, obviously post audit. And then you can start to see from a balance to mint, although I love how it's just ICX. But eventually, if we want BNUSD to get adopted, it needs to be able to have a few assets backing it to make it more stable, etc. So you can see over here through Binance Smart Chain, we can enable Bitcoin, we could enable Ethereum, we could enable whatever the hell we want, because it is via the bridge. and onto Icon, through the bridge, onto an exchange. Done. That's all I got. So lots of assets supported. The next one, integration will get worked on, but until audits are done, which is a time-consuming process, I think we'll be a little bit in limbo, but no harm in playing around with it.
Yeah.
I think that's all
next?
Huh?
I said, what's next?
Ah, yes. Well, Korea Blockchain Week. You remember that many moons ago?
I do. It feels like a lifetime ago. So it's very nice to see the high quality produced footage show up.
Yes.
Takes time to edit, to get it right, all in line. I know like a massive amount of footage was shot. So this is a tweet, the foundation just letting us know that there's a highlights video available.
Of all the pictures, David, of all the pictures, the one, even when I showed my wife this video, she was like, what are you doing with your hands? I'm like, oh God, way to go. It's self-conscious much, but yes.
That's called talking. When you're on screen and you're talking, you have to move your hands.
That's right.
It increases viewer retention.
No, look, David, you're right. Ton of footage. I think Ben sent me the list. On Icon alone, we shot 16 interviews, I think, not including the presentations and stuff like that. So, and that's on top of 15 interviews on top of all the interviews Ben did with Icon Loop and a few other interviews around the place. So, behind the scenes though, like even this preview, I think Ben uploaded 15 different versions showing us in the background what did we think, getting feedback. And then finally, when it was almost due day, we all got on a call and it was like he had to re-edit the whole thing again, poor guy. I literally now I want to keep my mouth shut because if anyone makes a suggestion, he's like, "Ooh, that's good," and he wants to implement it. But it's like, it involves him redoing a whole lot of work.
He's always polishing. In Hello
Chocobo, Skyfire likes to call that refining.
Indeed.
He loves refining. Yep. Okay, cool. So this is good. If you haven't been following, guys, I know we say this, but kid you not, ton of footage coming. It's not going to come out at once. It will trickle in, but I think the next one will be a whole bunch of interviews, including, well, there'll be some kind of presentation or something much bigger than 2 minutes.
And most importantly, they get launched on the YouTube channel, the Icon Foundation YouTube channel. Yeah. So that's the one that you want to be following to get that in your YouTube feed whenever a new one pops up. Yeah, so Twitter is just going to be the messenger, and YouTube, that's where it's going to land.
The monks are sponsoring Ion Icon, and if you haven't heard about the Omm monks, these are the core community members at Omm Finance, the borrowing and lending market on the Icon blockchain. Now, in order to increase community engagement, the Omm monks have accumulated heaps of assets, NFTs of different projects in the Icon ecosystem. They've thrown them all on a pile, and they're actually giving them away to you, the user. All you have to do is engage with the Omm community on either Twitter or Discord, get noticed, and they will reward you with an Omm Monks NFT. Now, if you have one of those, your name is going to appear on the spinny wheel, and every Ion Icon episode, you have a chance to win one of those beautiful NFTs from the ecosystem. We're talking Yetis, claws, we're talking collaborations with Tamashi, Wonder Game, Project Nebula. So get in, engage with the monks, and be a winner.
And the winner is Digital Dave. I haven't, what is this? Icon Foundation. Let's have a look. It's been jazzed up, hasn't it?
Let's have a look. Ooh. Why not hit the subscribe button while you're at it?
Oh, I don't have a profile logged in here. Oh, do I? Do I? Oh my God, I do. Yes, okay. Oh, my bad. Cool. Yes. Oh, look at that. Playlists. All Min's questions now are highlighted here as well. Ooh, Ion Icon's got a bit of a feature as well.
There you go.
That's
good. That's us.
Looking good. Cool. No, this is really good to see. So you can start to see now when all the new footage comes through. You're gonna land here and it's gonna look like Icon's got stuff going on, which Which we do, and we need to get it out there in the world. What is it? Marketing? When marketing? Yeah, when marketing.
Yeah, this is a part of that. It's just a great place to send people to, I suppose. You know, when people hear about Icon and they Google it, you might not know this, but Fez, YouTube is owned by Google.
No.
So
it's a decentralized platform.
It's owned by Google. It's a centralized Google product. So if you are using the search engine Google and you're searching for anything Icon or Icon blockchain related, there's a very high chance that YouTube results are going to pop up. And right now, what people are going to see is this amazing highlights video of the Korean Blockchain Week. And like you said, much more to come. So all in all, good stuff.
Yeah, it is a great video. Oh, I didn't mean to stop it there. Yep. Oh, there we go. DK. Yeah, okay. So, great. Next up, what do we have? More foundation related. Of course, the launch. We've already been through this, but Nexus, in case you didn't know it from the start of the podcast, Nexus has launched. Next up. Okay. So now this is. I'm going to go on a rant, David. I'm sorry. So, I saw someone in the community posted about Icon. When the markets have reversed, Icon's up not even or down or just hovering at the same price, whereas Luna Classic is up 15% and then started talking about Icon marketing, etc. In the last month and a half, Icon has represented itself at a major conference with many partners. It is in one of the big conferences that's going on at the moment, which is the Stanford conference, and we have we're published in one of the literature that's getting distributed over there, including another pamphlet series that was created by the Icon team, and it's getting distributed. So in terms of raising awareness, yes, it may not be boots at that conference, but Icon is front and center, getting in everyone's hands, and there's been a shit ton of marketing being done in the background. Ice and snow. Hell, do we want to talk about that? We're like, what is it? We've got 11,000 KSM. Remember when we launched Ice, everyone was worried how are we going to get, well, I didn't even know about the DOT and Kusama ecosystem. So when I learned about it, it's like, oh shit, I now understand why people were worried. Hell, David, this launched and within 30 seconds we had 5,000 KSM already in. People were
unbelievable pace. There were contributing bots set up to the second that it launched. Amounts of 100 to 200 KSM just pumped.
Is that what
in.
happened? Okay.
People waiting for this to go live to get in on it.
Yeah.
So that's the snow side of things. And on this, so this is the Science of Blockchain conference, and it's actually a really high quality conference with a lot of academic speak and talk. I actually had a look at the program, and Fez, I'm going to just read the names of a couple of these talks. So on Tuesday, 10 a.m., anonymous atomic locks for scalability in payment channel hubs. You could go to that. Or the next day at 10 in the morning, practical asynchronous distribution key generation. These are the quantifying blockchain extractable value. How dark is the forest? We are looking at a massive program with in-depth talks. The science of blockchain. The crowd there is obviously following. So I say they're smarter than you and me combined. And Icon pamphlets are in the program books. And this is the thing. So they're going to see that. They're going to give it a read because, you're at some point, you're waiting for the next speaker. You're just sitting there with something in your hand. You're going to look down. You're going to give the good-looking pamphlet a read. Next thing, they might Google it. Oh, guess what?
No.
They find the Icon Foundation YouTube.
Oh my God, because Google owns it. Oh my God, yes, that's why.
Yeah. So, it seems like there's a thing going on here, and I like this Science of Blockchain conference, and I've only heard people talk about that with with respect. So the fact that Icon is slipped in there and is delivering off pamphlets left, right, and center in the books is a good thing. So
look, it's not going to just all of a sudden Icon's mainstream. Things are going to take time. But when people this comparison, I was going to comment, but then I didn't. I'm trying to stay away from this stuff and let it aggravate me. But this particular one, it was. You can't compare Lunacy. You do realize Lunacy is worth nothing. And now, basically, all these people who think they're going to make a fortune and pump and dump groups are all rallying behind it, especially now with the validators. In the last week, the validators of Lunacy can now have their Lunacy redelegated. So all these people who bought like 1 million Luna for $10 are now able to actually delegate them to validators and earn rewards. And you got all these aspects in the background happening, and you got these hopefuls. Well, we're going to turn around. We're going to return USD to the peg. Of course, the price of Lunacy is going to fluctuate drastically, and you can't even compare the two. Anyway, rant over. That's enough. I'm just saying you got to put perspective in this. You got to understand what is happening on that side of the fence. You can't just draw something that moons to Icon. And yes, I would love Icon to be mooning as well, but even with Nexus, look, and Nexus has launched, but again, it's beta. We're not running out there saying, hey, let's fill out liquidity pools, go put in liquidity. No, we're not at that stage. So naturally, it's not going to have an impact in the market because there's nothing to do with Nexus apart from the tech is here, try it out. It's on mainnet. But soon we should have the incentive programs and things like that post audits come through. That's when you'll start to see a lot of people go, hey, I'm on Binance Smart Chain, let me move across to Icon and use some of our dApps. This is what the liquidity incentives will enable. Enough, let's move on. You tackle this one, David. HAVAH, what's going on here?
Oh my goodness. I was hoping you would tackle this one.
Okay, I'll tackle it. So HAVAH have launched, what have they got? Announcement 6. So basically they've launched a Discord. They kicked off a promotion. It's cool what they're doing. They're sticking to their theme with the planets that are nodes, etc. Everything they've got in blockchain speak, they've changed it to their chain and their NFT universe they're building, which is their chain. And to kick off the Discord promo, they did the first 100 people. You qualify for something. Within 2 minutes, there was 300 people in there. And they've got all kinds of quests running through to promote engagement and things like that. So and part of this, they dropped a whole bunch of animated episodes to explaining NFTs, how it's a revolution versus, and they compare it to the 1980s when money came out and how financial revolution followed through, and they were trying to draw comparisons to it. It's pretty cool if you haven't checked it out. I got a pet peeve. I wanted to interview HAVAH when we were there. I was desperately trying, never got to in Korea Blockchain Week. I had all these hardcore questions laid out for them. David, I must show you the questions I laid out because I know Studio Mirai, they had interviewed HAVAH, and I spoke to Ben later, and it was very much get to know the team kind of thing. I was like, ooh, that's good, because then I can follow up with the hard-hitting questions. Tell me how you use BTP. Does it run through Icon? These are the kinds of things I want answers to. But so hopefully we get them on the show. Overall, this is good because we know it's running on the Icon SDK, and as long as the NFTs move across BTP, it's a win-win for Icon. That's all I got for HAVAH. Have I covered it well?
I think so, thanks. Yep.
Okay, next up. You can cover this one.
Oh, this is ICONDAO doing the Lord's work. So ICONDAO runs Devera, which is this organization, I suppose, that boots on the ground, facilitates development workshops, hackathons, all sorts of real world activity, and they do it on the Icon blockchain. So what we're looking at here is just some snapshots of their project demo day, right? So a lot of groups of students have been working on their projects, building on the blockchain, learning about the Icon blockchain, how to build dApps, ideas for it, and then this is for school, I'm assuming. So they're there to learn, and they're getting spoon-fed Icon, I suppose.
Yeah.
So remember we had the hackathon, the Devera hackathon, about 5-6 months ago, and it was actually the group that built Eclectica, this metaverse on Icon that is actually still. They post like a picture every week or so with a little cryptic update, and it's looking better and better.
Isn't it?
So that. Yeah, yeah.
I actually
quite,
should have found it. The tweet.
Yeah. So that came from this, and this is a very, very good way of just creating. Is it grassroots activity from a developer perspective? So that's what Devera does. Devera by ICONDAO, and ICONDAO is a validator that you can vote for in the Icon ecosystem, and this is something that is valued, I think.
I completely agree. In a nutshell, this is a program. These are the hackathons that I used to crap on about. Why aren't we doing them? Well, it turned out ICONDAO was doing them. Unfortunately, COVID hit. But then after all of that, they ran their little $32,000. And we've seen a few projects come out of that actual hackathon, which is the metaverse David just mentioned. These things are happening more frequently. This ties into the other portal, the online portal that they are about to launch, I believe. And they've given some sneak peeks where the guy's talking behind
Yeah.
So all this ties into luring more people to build on Icon. It is a slow process, unfortunately, but it is a process they're doing well, and we can see projects coming from it. So exciting times. Next up, well, we talked about this, but just back to the Snow Crowdloan. David.
Quick update. Snow Crowdloan, we're looking at 11,907 KSM contributed. We have a max of 15,000 KSM. So that's the amount that is being incentivized by the Crowdloan program. Yeah, so people can continue to contribute afterwards. There's just no rewards left for these people. And the idea is that with 15,000, one should have enough to win the auction. And if you don't win this one by fluke or just being unlucky because this other team comes in, then you roll over into the next one. So it's looking really good for the Snow Crowdloan, and we can maybe even look forward and say, okay, what's going to happen if we do win somewhere in the next 4 days? So the blockchain, the actual Snow blockchain, has already been uploaded, so to speak, to the Kusama relay chain. This is something that you have to do before running your Crowdloan. And because you've already done that, when you win, they will essentially onboard you and activate it. So in terms of development, the majority, this is what they've been working on hard and for long. So once it then gets uploaded, obviously there's going to be like this period of time where configurations need to be sorted out, and the thing needs to settle, people need to settle in the right places, but then we're already going to be looking at this ICZ Snow token becoming available. We're going to be able to drop the Snow airdrop to the people who own eligible wallets. Now this won't all happen the second it gets onboarded, but in the weeks afterwards, that should become available. And I think that's what we're looking at right now, because it looks so good. If you look at the actual auction that we're in, auction 51, I think there's one other party, and I think they have about 1,000 KSM contributed, maybe 2,000. So fingers crossed.
Shouldn't mock. Yes. I'm not mocking, I was just playing. Yeah, look, huge. That KSM right now equates to, at the moment, $500, close to $600,000 at current KSM value. Well, I valued KSM at $50. I don't even know what it's at today. But huge. This is looking to be quite successful. We've shaken off that terrible start. It just, honestly though, that start has worked in our favor. And I'm going to be super, I don't know what, but it really has. I think at the start, we didn't have that much. It took a while to get to even 3,000 KSM, at least a day or something. We hit that in the first 30 seconds, as I said. So it looks like the false start has only helped impress more people. You like that? You like that spin? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. There's no such thing as bad press, right?
That's right.
even that mistake and people whinging and complaining on Twitter, if that got new eyes on Snow, and then and then Snow started dropping like partnership after partnership after announcement the past 2 weeks, it's been massive. So yeah, maybe people got excited anyway. There's a lot of partner apps that allow for contributing in like their mobile wallets. So it must have shown up there. They must have read about the partnership and thought, you know what, I'll toss a couple of KSM that way when it comes around. So the longer run-in has definitely been favorable for getting new eyes on it. You can see there's 612 participants who've mounted to this, near 12,000 KSM.
So and remember these partnerships, wallets and stuff, they're existing providers in the .Kusama ecosystem. So already they're learning off the new chain, and once we have that connection to Icon, you can start to see how our audience, we hope to start tapping into that communities aspect of different communities. They see this unique opportunity, come across Icon, see what they do, or maybe in the background don't even realize that Icon's being used to facilitate some of their transfers across to Binance Smart Chain or Near, when Near launches, you see once Snow is connected. Okay, great. One final thing, rant alert. I had gotten a bit of rumblings that people weren't pleased in terms of, the ICX that was allocated per the airdrop versus what's being distributed for contributing. And get it, we've ranted about this a few times, totally understand, but just always keep in mind that this entire process to get a parachain involves KSMs needed to get locked up for 48 months. Now, unless the airdrop, we all got a token for free, unless they had proposed that you have to lock up your ICX for 48 months, and then in the background they take that and take a loan and come out and secure the slot without engaging the KSM community or Iconists to actually buy KSM and take part in this process. There was no other way around this. So while it may seem, the rewards for one KSM is much higher compared to what we got for our airdrop, the airdrop was literally whatever ICX you had, you got a thank you KSM and ICE now, 1 per 1. Okay, just remember that. This process is needed to secure our slot as a parachain. It's just the way these parachains work, and it sucks, but there's no way around it. No one is benefiting. No one in the team or anyone is benefiting from this. It's well,
and
okay.
if you're not happy with the amount of Snow token that you are getting airdropped, nothing is stopping you today from purchasing KSM, contributing to this crowd loan, and receiving however much you want to receive. There is about 3,100 incentivized KSM left to contribute, and you will be receiving average 5,000 Snow token per KSM that you put in. So if you are unhappy with the amount that you're getting airdrop for free, consider putting in a KSM into the crowd loan, so that you can actually receive more. And I just did a quick calculation. The average allocation, the average contribution is 19.5 KSM per participant, which amounts to nearly $1,000. That's the average. Well, I know I didn't put that in, so there's got to be some whales out there like that I mentioned before. Yeah. Okay, let's move.
Okay, next up, a bit of craft news. A ton of stuff happening. So we got the fees compounder. It's live. So essentially, you can now. There's two areas that you get fees from, right? So if you've staked your craft token, you get fees in ICX based on the protocol's revenue, and the other one is if you are providing LP liquidity, you get those liquidity rewards. So now they've kind of got a one-click process where on one of them it claims your craft rewards and stakes it as part of the LP pool, so you can claim and automatically stake it. And then the next, if you have crafts staked and you're earning ICX, you can claim your ICX, or you can claim and compound it. So it claims the ICX, buys more craft, and stakes it on the platform for you at the click of a button on the website. So you don't have to go to different places and do it. Pretty cool feature. It uses, the balance. Well, of course it uses balance. All the liquidity is on balance, so it uses balance. But overall, you can see they're trying to stop people from having to jump to a different site and do things. It's all right there for you.
Yeah, it's built on the unbalanced, so it's just showing balanced as a fundament, isn't it, in the Icon ecosystem?
Foundational, yes, I agree.
They say there's a surprise for anyone using the compounder. I did hover over the button, and like little fireworks jumped up.
Did it?
So I haven't actually used it yet. So I'm quite curious to see what the surprise is. Is that like what is that? The horny with the abs?
I don't notice that. That's hilarious. Look at him. Oh, they're taking the frog meme to a next level, aren't they?
I don't know what to think.
Okay, moving on. More craft news. So this is, they've created support tickets in their server. So now if you need support, you can get a ticket. Next up, okay, what is this, David? Sweep the floor?
More craft. They've introduced this, sweep the floor within one click functionality. So sweeping the floor is something that you see on NFT marketplaces. If there's a collection that has a bunch of NFTs listed for sale, what you can do is buy up all the cheapest ones. Mm-hmm. It's called sweeping the floor. And by doing so, you automatically increase the floor price. So if you buy all the cheap ones and stash them in your wallet, then by default, the next first cheapest one for sale is going to be more expensive. And it's a trick to create momentum maybe for a collection. When you see there's like 4 gangsta bets. I'm using gangsta bet as an example because that's the one that Lucas used in his craft announcement. If you see 4 gangsta bets kind of listed at 800 ICX and the rest is 1000, you can sweep the floor. So what the functionality does is you just tell them, hey, how much you want to sweep. In the example it does 10. In my example I do 4. It just calculates all the stuff for you. You hit the sweep button and you're good to go. So this is going to make it easier for people to do it, maybe even lure them into sweeping the floor every now and then. Have you ever sweep the floor, Fez?
Like at home, yeah, but I have not with NFTs on craft. And I'm in this super hold pattern at the moment where I'm just holding stuff. I need to start splurging a little bit.
I sweep the Rage Pups floor.
Did you?
At some point, I remember having 0 Rage Pups, and I figured I needed. I think we talked about it, and they came on the show with you, and I was like, okay, I need to do this. And then I saw that there were like 2 or 3 listed much cheaper than the rest. So I felt like a whale. I sweeped those 3 from the floor, and by default, the price was much higher, of course. So in my head, I did some quick math, and I realized I made a 300% profit or something like that. Of course, I never sold them, and the price might have just dropped afterwards. I don't know, but felt good to sweep the floor, and now I can do it in one click.
There you go. Okay, coming from a man with experience, yes, I haven't. Everyone knows, unfortunately, I haven't ventured too deep into NFTs. Even though I do have a project, but I give creative and creative direction, and I put a lot of pressure on him. That's all. Okay, so sweep the floor. Next up, I don't think this was news. I just saw this tweet, and I wasn't sure, but it's a nice. Oh, it's actually a thread. I didn't see this. What was this?
This is Omm repeating their token distribution model. The highlight being that the first year is over, so the emission of Omm tokens, the inflation is brought back. The distribution to people, the distribution is the same in terms of percentages, so everyone gets the same amount of percentage. But I think the overall amount is curbed after 1 year now. So
and so you would have noticed if you boosted. I'm pretty sure the APR would have dropped a little bit. I noticed definitely in the money markets, my boosting when I was borrowing had dropped. Don't be alarmed. This is just part of, from 400,000 a day, it's gone to 300,000. So naturally, the supply is shifted and APRs would get impacted. Overall, this is a good thing. So even now, while there's less Omm being emitted, people are still fighting for that Omm to get locked up, maybe for PREP rewards or for boosted money markets, liquidity providing, you name it. So good time. I've really enjoyed. I've been stacking. That's what I've been doing. I've been stacking. You know how me and David have chatted about our degen Omm ways, and just indirectly, it's caused me to start stacking Omm because I keep trying to lock it up for 4 years. Not financial advice. Please don't do what I do. I've not done well. I've not done well. Oh God, let's not talk about that. Okay, next up, Optimus. Oh, David, take it away. What do we got? New strategy.
Optimus, DApp on Icon. What they do is they run these DeFi strategies for you, so you don't have to. So instead of you going into Omm full degen like Fez, or if you're unbalanced, doing a bit of liquidity providing, maybe minting some stable coin, all these like strategic moves, Optimus combines them into a one-click strategy where you just deposit your ICX, they run it for you and reward you. You get your rewards that you would otherwise get with less effort. On top of that, they reward you with their own Fin governance token. And the news here is that they've actually added ICX mining to their testnet. So that means that you could expect it to appear on mainnet in maybe a week or 2 or 3. Testnet is for testing. And what ICX mining will do, I read their docs, and essentially, I think it's compounded staking of ICX. So ICX, you can stake it because it's a proof of stake network. And what they will do is they will claim your rewards every day and restake it. So if you have a pile of ICX, and this is actually something that I've been looking for, I want to grow my ICX stack.
So just on that, David, it doesn't... Because what happens on Omm is you supply SICX, it's already staked, so you're earning your staking rewards, and that's a done deal. On top of it, you earn interest off ICX, right? Especially if on ICX you earn, like, I don't know. But once you, I believe if you supply SICX, you also earn the Omm token as a reward. So... I think it combos everything, right? So I don't know if it lets you keep your Omm reward, or does it sell the Omm and add it back in the SICX stash?
Yeah. That would make a lot of sense, as that's what Optimus does, right?
Yeah.
What ICX mining does, you put in ICX and it generates as much new ICX as possible for you through a strategy that, and whether that's on Omm through balanced or whether it's through the original staking, I don't know, to be honest, and I couldn't find it in the docs, but I do like it because I noticed that, we're buying I'm buying NFTs because all these projects are launching and I want to participate, but my ICX stack that I once had is now kind of like 50% is in NFTs. So it's not growing. It looks like it's coming down, and I don't want that. I want to just get back at what I once had, made me like feel good about the ICX bag. So. And then Optimus has all these strategies for, getting more balanced token, getting more Omm token. And I want all these as well. I want all of them. But good old ICX, I need to take care of that too. That needs to be growing.
It's funny, isn't it? You ape into all the alts. Like, these are our alts on Icon. And it's like, don't forget the native. All these alts need ICX to function. Otherwise, it's pointless. That's not saying don't buy these projects. Not financial advice. But David, go on. I interrupted.
I'm just saying that I was waiting for this one, and I'm happy that it appeared. I think it's Optimus's duty to make this available, and they've done so. So that's the ICX mining live on testnet right now, and it'll appear on mainnet one of these days, one of these weeks maybe.
Yeah. So auto compounding ICX, and on top of it, for using it, you're getting the Fin token. So that's probably where it goes a little bit higher. The only thing that's it's weird with the mining strategies. I need to explore it a little bit further personally, because obviously you have to weigh up if you have boosted Omm locked up for 4 years, well, then what is better for you? Because, for example, I know in certain instances, for me, I don't have that much boosted Omm, but I was getting almost 1% for supplying ICX compared to the default rate of not even, 0.25%.
Yeah, so if your personal wallet has a lot of bonded Omm, your rewards will be higher as opposed to the general ICX mining strategy.
Yeah, and
unless Optimus in the background has bonded.
I haven't seen that. I haven't gone to the site, but I don't believe they need to make some. I'm sure if they did that, they would be promoting the hell out of it. I mean, and this is something I've also said. Like, they're in prime position to create a strategy that involves crowdsourcing as much like they did before. What they created their own strategy, which leveraged with their node rewards and stuff. Obviously, the boosted model impacted that, but I still feel they're in prime position to recreate that in a boosted way. So instead of individuals boosting, say, their 10,000 Omm tokens, they can go to Optimus and boost, and it compounds as a community boost, so that they share the yield with everyone who takes part in the strategy. Like, this is not legit me pulling crap out of the air. This can be implemented. Protocols actually do this on other chains. So please, Optimus, please. Although my 4 years is locked away, I will bring new Omm on the table and lock it up. Please. Okay. Next up, weekly news. Okay, so this is now taken from the amazing Icon Discord, the bulletin board that John and Arush, who do a sensational job, have put together. So we got 2 more bits of news. Project Nebula, you can have more than 1 ship on an account now. 4 ships. But I think at the start you'll only have 2 slots, and then you got to open up the slots. But
yep.
It doesn't matter. Like, I literally have 2 profiles, and I always forget to float in space with my second profile. But now that I can just bring it onto the one profile and quickly smash through, doing whatever I do, float. Brilliant. This is a great update.
Yeah, and you'd be able, because all the assets in Project Nebula, whether it's spaceships, condiments, planets, everything's an NFT. So you should be able to, if you're running 2 accounts with 2 ships, because that's the only way to do it before, you can actually send all of them to the one wallet and run it from there in one interface. And knowing UFES, you're going to purchase that 3rd slot and that 4th slot, and you're going to get yourself some ships. Because what you could do with 4 ships, how in Project Nebula, as you move through as you move through space, you're floating, and this aura around your ship becomes visible. Yes. Imagine having 4 ships like vertically above each other and just sweeping left to right over these what do they call them? The sectors?
My God.
Like, the efficiency of space exploration, it's insane.
I think we need to pause this podcast right now. I have things to take care of. I can wait. No, yeah, I am thoroughly excited about it. I think, talking earlier, I'm waiting for the expansion. I want a few other things. Personally, I liked floating around and eventually stumbling onto a planet. And now that most of the planets, if not like 2 are out there still, perhaps, most of them have been found, I feel that's been the lure of floating and discovering new spaces no more. So I just circle around gathering resources in a map that I've mapped out completely. I know there's the other stuff going on, but I don't even know where I am in space. I'm so lost floating. I haven't bothered to try and trace back where all the events are happening. But Project Nebula. Next up, Framed. So they're constantly shipping, delivering, but this was cool. Someone in the community, Daniel. Yes, Daniel. He translated the entire Framed whitepaper to Dutch.
Dutch indeed. And it's interesting because the Framed whitepaper has already been translated into 3, 4, 5, 6 different languages, which makes a lot of sense. If you, like, the whitepaper contains the entire token economic model, the idea behind Framed, what is it that we're doing here, why are things moving in a certain direction. So to get that out there in all these different languages for people to actually dive in and understand, it only makes sense to do that. So yeah, more eyes on it. And Yeah, I think we just sit back and wait. Or do I need to buy more NFTs? You tell me.
No, not financial advice. I don't know. You're literally talking to the guy who played the entire bull market incorrectly. So I am dishing the news. This is not a good look for people listening. No, I suffered for Terra. That's what I played terribly. And because I was a big believer in bridges, I bridged a lot of my Ethereum assets to Terra. So I lost out big. But built a bridge. Is it a bridge? And I'm over it. Well, clearly not, but it haunts me every day from time to time. But coming back to Icon, yes. That's it. That's the news. Okay, so as always, not financial advice. I think a couple of things I want to call out. We have a ton of interviews. So we dropped Invictus. I won't say the first part, just to tease Jack. And the interview dropped. Not a lot of people have listened to it. Come on, you want to learn about some of the cool stuff that's being built? Jump in, give it a listen. They're launching a node. There's going to be node rewards. There's all kinds of things happening with it, and I love the part of the conversation. Like a lot of the stuff Brandon and the team are looking to build. They're trying to, from a gaming component, he even shared a site, and I shared the link. They're trying to incorporate existing technologies. That way, when the time comes, they can open it up on Android and various other applications quite seamlessly. So they won't have to rework architecture and stuff like that. Anyway, that's how I pulled from his conversation. That's the gist I got. And I appreciated that they have, right from the get-go, they're thinking about those things. So definitely give it a listen. It's a short, sharp, sweet interview, just 30 minutes, so worth it. I've interviewed TJ, so next week we got TJ. I got Brian coming on the show. He's been, having his absorbing a lot of information, and he's got some thoughts and things he wants to share, so he's going to come on the show and talk about that. I've got Cyrus lined up, so Cyrus is going to come and drop a ton of information around what has been happening in the background with Icon Bridge. I know, delay after delay, he's going to actually shed some light into what's transpired, what work he's done in the background, how people can actually check out Icon Bridge every day to see progress and track it. So very excited. That reminds me, David, I have to schedule that interview, but very excited. I've already spoken to him, very excited to have him on the show. So the next 4 weeks, we're going to have a ton of interviews dropping. Stay tuned. David, any closing words?
Thanks for making it this far, and see you soon.
There you go. Humble, isn't he? Okay. Thank you, everyone. Like, share, subscribe. New Iron Icon website, other super alpha stuff coming soon. In the interim, you did see this Crypto Setups website, work in progress, thanks to the man who is David. He's literally teaching himself and dishing out websites. My God, he's good. Okay,
Insane.
Thanks, everyone. What? Closing words?
I said that's insane. And my closing word is bye.
Bye.